Hello and welcome to the Midday News. A 10-day basic gender-based violence survivor-centered counseling training is underway in Bougainville, aimed at strengthening support for survivors at the community level. The program is led by the Department for Community Development and Religion through the National GBV Secretariat in partnership with the PNG Counsellors Association and supported by the Australia PNG Law and Justice Partnership. The department opened the training, saying many survivors first seek help within their own communities, making trained frontline responders essential. Participants include government officers, police, health workers, safe house staff, church and youth leaders, and community volunteers from several provinces. The training will conclude on Friday, marking the final phase of a 3-province rollout following earlier sessions in Wewak and Midday. With over 25,000 graduates nationwide, including abroad, Divine Word University is calling for its alumni to join forces in preparation towards its 30 years as a university. Divine Word Institution was declared a university in 1996. President Father Philip Gibbs, during its foundation day on August 21st, said there will be a festival held to commemorate its 30 years.
This year, the Divine Word University celebrates its 30th year as a university. President Father Philip Gibbs stated that TWU is proud of all its alumnus as they carry on the legacy of the institution's quality and ethical teachings through their achievements within their career spaces and in the communities as well. He added that it was uplifting to see the alumni's bond and connection grow throughout the country with each association created in the provinces.
I really hope we can have more development with our alumni. I'd really like to try to get them more on board, working with them. And we're calling it a festival and celebrate the 30 years. You know, what have been the achievements in the last 30 years. And that of course will involve the alumni because, you know, who have been the alumni in over the last 30 years.
The 2026 theme is Serving the Nation with Quality Education over 30 years. The university plans to host a few events surrounding the date. Still in planning stages, President Father Gibbs is hoping that its alumnus throughout the nation can participate and support the event.
And that of course will involve the alumni because, you know, who have been the alumni in over the last 30 years. We're going to try and find ways to get them to identify themselves and we'll see what comes of it. We're just planning at the moment how best to do that. But it's a good thing to celebrate, huh?
The institution has grown from a high school to an institution and gained university status in 1996. DWU prides itself in the teachings of strong foundations for lifelong values. Frida Kana, TV1 News.
Australia's partnership with Papua New Guinea continues to reach remote communities in Western Province, with the MV Islander completing more than 100 trips to South Fly District since 2021. On its last voyage, the vessel is delivering medical and essential supplies to Daru for the Burnett Institute and Youth with a Mission, working with the Western Provincial Health Authority. It will also transport ranger supplies to Mabudawan and construction materials and seeds to the Moorhead Development Hub. For 5 years, the vessel has delivered medicines, school materials, solar lights and farming support, while also assisting the Western Provincial Government with disaster response and election logistics, strengthening services for isolated communities. Tribal Foundation revealed that PNG only has 22 guidance officers in the country, urging for more guidance officers as they are crucial for youth in the country. President of PNG Tribal Foundation, G.T. Buston, shared that they are working with Guidance and Counseling Division to combat this issue.
Guidance officers in the country operate under the Department of Education, specifically within its Guidance and Counseling Division. They play a vital role in supporting students' academic success, personal development and emotional well-being across the country's schools and teacher training institutions. According to the PNG Tribal Foundation, there are only 22 guidance officers in the country. President of PNG Tribal Foundation, G.T. Buston, shared that they are working with Guidance and Counseling Division to combat this issue.
And we've been able to do a partnership with the Department of Education. We have our friends from Department of Education here from Guidance. So we work very closely with Guidance, and I always say this wherever I speak. Do you know that we only have 22 guidance officers in all of Papua New Guinea? Only 22. That is a sad reference on our priorities. We should have guidance officers for young Papua New Guineans across the country. We should be investing in the future of this country. Tribal Foundation is doing that through this partnership where we've been able to put curriculum together that's going into schools across the country. This is us working with Guidance Division on the third curriculum that's going into the country, which is going to start this year. We've been doing pilot schools around Port Moresby, and now we're expanding the program across Papua New Guinea.
Honorary Trade Commissioner for Papua New Guinea and owner of LJ Hooker, Karan Rana, also shared the same sentiments during yesterday's Live to Lead conference hosted by PNG Tribal Foundation in partnership with John Maxwell Leadership Foundation.
Yeah, I believe the amount of people growing in Papua New Guinea, having 22 guide officers in Papua New Guinea are not enough. I request the PNG government also to create more guideline officers where they can help the youth, create more jobs and more guidelines for our youngsters.
Jasmine Irojak, TVWAN News.
In overseas news, each year a plucky band of expeditioners base themselves on an Antarctic glacier to set up one of the world's most remote airstrips. The ice runway at Wilkins Aerodrome is a critical asset, but getting it ready for flights is nothing short of extreme. The ABC traveled there with the support of the Australian Antarctic program.
Touching down at the bottom of the world.
This is my 21st year of flying to Antarctica. I still get an absolute kick out of it every single time. There's just nothing, it's just white and white and white, but the horizon is absolutely razor sharp.
Wilkins Aerodrome is Australia's aviation gateway in Antarctica, but its 3.5 kilometre ice runway is only open for part of the summer, and it takes weeks of preparation to get it ready for the influx of flights.
All day, all week, we just start clearing the runway. Snow blowers, large blades on the front of loaders, bulldozers, scrapers behind tractors.
The aerodrome is managed by a team of about half a dozen expeditioners who live and work together for several months at the remote outpost.
The team that we work with is just fantastic. So, and the bond you form with your team out here at Wilkins is amazing.
About 20 planes will touch down here at Wilkins Aerodrome over the summer months, providing critical supplies and personnel for the Australian Antarctic program. But in Antarctica, the weather can turn in a flash, and conditions are sometimes extremely challenging for passengers and pilots.
But we've got some pretty good procedures in place that we've had bedded in for many years that mitigate all that risk.
And despite the hard work of the runway crew, there are times when it's simply too hazardous to allow planes to land.
So we will do all the prep work just for a plane to get cancelled, and then we just get ready to do it the next day.
Keeping Australia's Antarctic flights on schedule as best they can.
Building costs and natural disasters have increased the cost of home insurance premiums by more than 50% over the past 5 years. That's according to new research, which has found cities and regions hardest hit by disasters are paying more, leaving many Australians struggling to keep up.
That's where the fire came to.
Months after Paul and Denise Cameron built their home near the Blue Mountains, the 2019 Black Summer bushfires hit.
I think we were lucky because the fire went sort of around us rather than straight through as it did at the other end of the street. That's what's going to cost us.
While their home was okay, their insurance premium has almost doubled in the years since.
So this is our insurance for next year, just over $5,000.
Over 5 years to October 2025, home insurance premiums have been on the rise, with data from Finity showing that across the country, the average increase has been more than 50%. Homes in Brisbane's west now average more than $8,000 a year. For properties in Darwin City, Sydney's outer west and Blue Mountains region, it's nearly $5,500. In the capital cities, Australians living in other parts of Darwin still pay the most, followed by those living in Sydney and Brisbane.
That premium reflects the underlying risk that the insurers has faced.
The Insurance Council says since 2020, extreme weather events have cost insurers more than $25 billion, and it's talking to the federal government about preventative measures.
Unless we take action and adapt our buildings and also reduce risk at the community level, those two actions need to happen to ensure that we've got a functioning insurance market.
I try and keep the ground.
Paul and Denise did build their home with fires in mind. They were encouraged to send photos of it to their insurer and were given a discount on their premium.
By about $500, which is significant amount on what we were paying.
Which have been good.
A win for the Camerons, while many households stare down increasing costs.
Back home in sports, the Australian Rugby League Commission in its NRL Annual Report 2025 confirms another record-breaking year for Rugby League. In 2025, Rugby League again confirmed its position as the biggest sport in Australia and the Pacific, with record audiences, record attendance, record participation, and the strongest financial position in the game's history.
The strong financial results have led to reinvestment in elite competitions, grassroots and junior participation, women's programs, community clubs and fan experiences, ensuring the game's growth is shared across the entire ecosystem. Australian Rugby League Commission Chairman Peter V'landys said 2025 was another landmark year that demonstrated Rugby League's unveiled strength across the region. He said the season delivered extraordinary performance outcomes for Rugby League, cementing its established position as Australia's and the Pacific's #1 sport. The ARL said the future is even brighter, with the Perth's Bears to join the NRL Premiership in 2027 and the Papua New Guinea Chiefs to enter from 2028. These new market expansions will build lasting connections with communities, growing the grassroots and giving kids the best start in life through the transformative power of Rugby League. NRL CEO Andrew Abdul said the 2025 season delivered the strongest entertainment product in Australian sport and the largest, most connected participation community in Australia and the Pacific. After another record-breaking year, Rugby League is strong, healthy and vibrant. Terry Longwood, TV1 Sports.
And that ends our midday news. Do join me at 6 for more.